Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So I told you all if I have any issues with my truck, you will be the first to know. And lo and behold, I've had another issue. Now it's nothing major. It's nothing like either one of my F-150s had, and one of them even had, a life-threatening issue in my opinion. So it's nothing like that. These are just little bit of, nuisances that, I want everything to work on my truck, and I want these things to work as well. So when I take it in to have the lights fixed, I'll also have to have this addressed also. I've not taken it in for the light issue where it flickers yet because I got sick last week and had to cancel that appointment. So hopefully this week or next week, I'll be able to get that in to have looked at. And like I said, when I do that, I'll have this looked at as well. Now, before I tell you exactly what's going on, I want to address something. A lot of people call me a Toyota fanboy. I'm not a fanboy of Toyota. I'm not a fanboy of any brand. I'm not a brand loyalist. Actually, I've owned 37 vehicles and only 4 of them have been Toyotas. If I'm a fanboy of anything, it's probably Nissan because I've owned way more Nissans than I have anything. So for everybody that calls me a Toyota fanboy and they're going to hate on this vehicle because, God, the Toyota, yes, I believe every vehicle does have issues. I've said that before. But I still believe that the Toyota is one of the most reliable vehicles made. And like I said, these issues are just nuisances. They're not huge problems, but I want everything to work. So let's get into what my problem was. So I parked my truck at work the other day. Now I do park a little close to the guy beside me because he's one of my buddies, and I know he won't door ding my truck, and I always leave work before he does. He usually gets there a few minutes before me, and then I leave a little bit before he does because a lot of times he'll have to work over a little bit or something, and I'll get out of there right before he leaves. So I know he's not going to door ding my truck, and he's not even going to be in his truck while I'm there. And that gives me enough space on the other side of me that I don't have to worry about that person door dinging my vehicle either. So I was backing out, and all of a sudden my sensor, my parking sensor where it tells you if you're too close to something, started just going off. Now it had been raining monsoons here for the last week or more. And, I thought, what in the world? I know I didn't park that close to him. So I backed out and it was still doing it even after I got away from him. So I put it in drive, started driving off, still doing it. And it beeped like that for probably about 10 or 15 yards, and then it stopped. It just quit. Everything went back to normal, drove it on home. No issues at all. I thought, well, maybe I got something on it. I got out and wiped it off and thought, well, that'll fix it. I got back in the truck a little while later to go get something to eat. It done it again. And I was parked at my house then, and there was nothing parked beside of me. So I pulled out, started to pull up through the driveway, and immediately stopped, got out and wiped off the sensor. Now, when it's in park, it disables the parking sensors. So when I put it in park, it quit doing it. Wiped it off, got back in it, put it back in drive. It did it again. I would drive 10, 15 yards. It just stopped. Everything went to working good. Now, once I drive it a little bit, and it's almost like it reset itself and seen there wasn't nothing there, it wouldn't do it again. So when I got back in the truck and started back home, I'd went out to get something to eat, was where I was going then. Started back home, it didn't do it again. It just stopped doing it. And no problems. When I got up the next morning to leave for work, it did it again. So it's like when the vehicle has sat there for a little while, it did again. Now, I don't know if the rain was causing that. I can't see that happening because none of the other sensors, it has several sensors on it, none of those were going off. It was only the right front one that was going off. So, I can't believe the rain had anything to do with it. And I got out and wiped it off in case a leaf or something was stuck to it. There was nothing stuck to it at all. So I don't know what the issue is. I think I have a faulty parking sensor. Now, like I said, that's not a big deal. If it didn't go off, I have a parking sensor button right here on the dash that I can just push, and it cuts off those parking sensors and it quits beeping. So there's another workaround around that. My headlights, flickering, as long as I keep them on constant on, it never does it. Just like this, if I hit the parking sensor button, it shuts off the parking sensors. It would quit beeping. But I don't know what's causing it. Like I said, I think that sensor is going bad. So I'm going to have them look at that whenever I take the truck up there for the flickering headlights. And I do believe they'll replace this headlight stalk, the multi-function switch, and I think they'll probably replace that sensor. Right now, I'll take you outside and show you what I'm talking about as far as the sensor goes. Okay, you can see this little sensor right here. This tells me if I'm getting too close to something on the right-hand side, like if I'm too close to like a drive-through, not drive-through, it's on the wrong side, but it always happens on the other side. If I'm going through a drive-through, it'll start beeping because it thinks I'm too close to something. Well, this one actually did it with me not being too close to anything. Now you can see there's no damage to it. Nothing's ever been hit over here. I didn't bump anything or nothing. This is still the factory sensor, and like I said, you can see there's no damage to it. But for some odd reason, it just kept on beeping and beeping and beeping, and that's a little annoying for 15 yards or something like that. If it went longer, I definitely had to cut those off. So like I said, if it had went longer than 15 yards or something like that, I would have just cut off the button because I wouldn't have been able to handle that beeping the whole time. And I do also want to say that when you get close to something, the sensor actually shows you there's something there. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to pull my garbage can over next to that bumper, take the phone, and show you what it looks like when something's too close to it. Hang on just a second. Okay, you can see the dash right here. It's truck started and everything. I got the parking brake on so I don't roll forward a little bit. But I did stick my garbage can right up next to the bumper. Just, I didn't stick it up against it, but I've got a few inches away from it. So watch what happens when I put it in reverse. See how that turns red right here and starts beeping? As you get even closer, there's more of those come out. And that's what it was doing. It was starting to beep like that, like something was right up against my bumper, but there was nothing there. So again, as soon as I get this taken to the shop and, I get it figured out, everything fixed and everything, I'll give you all an update on what they did to the truck. Now, what I think they'll do is replace, like I said, this multifunction stalk, and I think they'll replace that sensor. Y'all seen what it was doing. It actually had more lines, like something was just right on top of the truck, but there was nothing there. I do want to say, since it got sunny, we've had, good weather the last couple of days, the truck has not done it. I don't know if the weather had a factor in it. Like I said, I don't know how it would have been that the other sensors around the vehicle was not going off. But since the weather's been nice and a little warmer, I've not had any issues with it. But it is something that I want fixed. Like I said, I paid a lot of money for this truck. Any vehicle nowadays is pretty expensive, and I want everything on it to work, and it's all covered under warranty. I do have an extended warranty on this truck, and I've still actually got some factory warranty left, but even when that runs out, I did get an extended warranty. So any issues like that should be covered as far as that goes. Again, I'll let y'all know as soon as I get it back what they said and what they did to fix it. That way, if you all ever experience any of these problems, you'll know what to do. Appreciate you watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.